Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, it's getting harder. It's getting harder. It's getting tougher. Every day gets tougher. But that's the way it is. I mean, you don't.
Not every legend stays in the spotlight, but some shine even brighter in the shadows. Michael J. Fox, once the face of youthful charm and time travel, has lived a far deeper story than fans ever saw on screen. Beyond the fame and laughs lies a private battle that reshaped his legacy. How does a Hollywood icon face a fight that celebrity can't shield him from? And what life-altering choice, made at his peak, remained secret for years? This isn't just about an actor. It's about the man behind the roles. His story redefines strength, loss, and resilience. The tragedy of Michael J. Fox isn't what you'd expect, but once you know it, you'll never see him the same way again. The foundation of a Hollywood icon. Michael J. Fox's path to Hollywood began modestly in Edmonton, Alberta, and his early life was shaped by his father's career in the Canadian military, which meant frequent relocations across the country. Eventually, the family settled in Burnaby, British Columbia. It was here, during his high school years at Burnaby Central Secondary, that Fox's natural inclination toward the arts began to emerge. In school plays and drama club performances, he found both a creative outlet and a sense of purpose, signaling the start of what would become an iconic career. His first professional break came when he was just 15, starring in the CBC series Leo and Me. Despite playing a character younger than his actual age, Fox delivered a performance that hinted at his potential. The show gave him early exposure to the inner workings of television production and provided him with hands-on experience that most actors only gain much later. Interestingly, the production later drew attention for a bizarre medical coincidence. Several cast and crew members, including Fox, would go on to be diagnosed with early-onset Parkinson's, though no proven connection was found. Resolved to pursue greater aspirations, Fox moved to Los Angeles at age 18, endured financial hardship and professional doubt. Unfazed, he took on small roles on The Love Boat and Lou Grant, where even minor screen time served him in honing his craft and building his confidence. Every role was a stepping stone, providing him the opportunity to build up his contacts and show what he could do with a diversity of roles beyond his youth. His determination, charisma, and ability slowly began to make headway, and interest started to grow in his emerging career. All this changed when he was cast as Alex P. Keaton in Family Ties. The character's combination of intelligence, wit, and sardonic comic timing best showcased Fox and earned him heaps of praise from critics and several Emmys. The show made him a household name and paved the way for his breakout movie role in Back to the Future. His meteoric rise from Canadian schoolboy prodigy to global celebrity was fueled by equal parts raw talent, insatiable ambition, and an insistent knack for relating to people. But before the world knew his name, he had to choose one that would set him apart. And that decision became the first stroke of a legacy built on bold reinvention. Reinventing his identity in Hollywood. As Michael J. Fox's career began gaining momentum in the late 1970s, he encountered a challenge that many aspiring actors face, but one that would ultimately profoundly shape his legacy. When he applied for membership with the Screen Actors Guild, he learned that the name Michael Fox was already taken by another veteran actor. SAG rules prohibit duplicate names to avoid confusion in credits and contracts. While some actors resolve this by using a middle name or initial, Fox found Michael A. Fox unappealing. To him, it sounded awkward, overly formal, and even a little self-important, far removed from the casual, relatable persona he naturally embodied. Faced with a decision that might seem minor to outsiders, but is crucial in Hollywood branding, Fox opted for something that felt more authentic to who he was, and what he hoped to represent. The J he chose wasn't simply filler. It was a purposeful homage to actor Michael J. Pollard, whose offbeat charm and standout role in Bonnie and Clyde left a lasting impression on a young Fox. Pollard was known for playing eccentric and unconventional characters, an anti-hero of sorts in the landscape of leading men, and that spirit of individuality resonated with Fox. By adopting the J, Fox wasn't just solving a union formality. He was aligning himself with a creative lineage that valued uniqueness, emotional nuance, and character depth. This small initial carried significant meaning, symbolizing the kind of artist Fox aspired to be. One who might break molds rather than fit neatly into them. In his autobiography, Lucky Man, Fox goes back to the J, again with his typical flavoring, a little sprinkling of wit and a lot of candors, introducing it thus: it might be for genius or for genuine, depending on the day. Yet under the laughter was a telling truth. If that all-important name, Michael J. Fox, was more than a simple reference, it had become a personal brand, synonymous with his charm, his quick intelligence, and his inner strength. It was meant to distinguish him from the throng of Michaels and Matts, and to front a unique presence before he uttered a line. But as his career unfolded, that name became the moniker of not only an actor, but of an activist, a writer, and a voice against life-changing adversities. This was an early statement in his career. It very much called attention to his conscious awareness and even prescience as a young actor trying out. In a world where names become synonymous with identity, Fox's change was not different. It was merely to stake a claim on the ground for who he was and who he was becoming. From here on, the title Michael J. Fox would come to symbolize versatility, determination, and poise under fire. The smallest of changes, one letter, remember, might just trigger something truly great, something which shall shape for generations the destinies of both fans and artists. Struggles with addiction. During the early 1990s, while Michael J. Fox's public life projected the image of a successful actor at the height of his career, his private world was marked by escalating internal chaos. With family ties behind him and his next big show, Spin City, on the horizon, the external milestones painted a picture of triumph. But in 1991, just as his professional momentum soared, Fox received a life-changing diagnosis: early-onset Parkinson's disease. The fear and uncertainty he felt were overwhelming, and he wasn't ready to share it. The pressure to appear invincible, to keep producing hits and hiding his vulnerability, pushed him toward alcohol. Drinking soon evolved from a coping mechanism into a dangerous dependency, providing a false sense of control and dulling the dread of an uncertain future. The tipping point arrived in 1992 in a deeply personal and sobering way. After a night of heavy drinking, Fox was found passed out by his wife, Tracy Pollan. The image of himself in that state, helpless and broken, was one he could not ignore. For a man who had built a career on timing, charisma, and control, this moment stripped all illusions away. He later described his early attempts at sobriety as a knife fight in a closet, chaotic, claustrophobic, and deeply painful. But Fox was not alone. With Tracy's unwavering support, he decided to face his addiction head-on. The road to sobriety involved therapy, self-examination, and honest conversations that cut to the core. It wasn't quick, and it wasn't smooth, but it was a turning point that would eventually redirect the course of his life. Sobriety not only healed Fox's body, it completely changed his attitude. When the clouds of addiction cleared, so did his denial regarding Parkinson's. Counseling enabled him to work through the trauma he'd pushed under for years. He began embracing what the diagnosis meant: both for his body and for his future. And rather than letting it bury him, he came to view it as a battle he could fight. In 1998, he publicly disclosed his condition in an intimate and emotional interview. The response was considerably more understanding than he had anticipated. It was a dramatic moment of openness, confronted with universal support. By 2000, Fox translated his battle into public action by establishing the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, a giant leap that finalized his transition from actor to advocate. At the center of it all was something stronger than therapy or renown: his family. Tracy Pollan, whom Fox married in 1988, was there for him through every high and low. She didn't only stand behind him, she grounded him. Her strength and stillness served as a platform for him to work from. Fox has always spoken of her as his emotional rock, referring to her as his rock. Together, they established a life based on love, trust, and strength, raising 4 children and creating a home where honesty and compassion were always present. In a society that celebrates public victories, Fox's most triumphant moments were likely these quiet victories: making the choice of recovery, making the choice of honesty, and making the choice to allow love to see him through the darkest times. Parkinson's diagnosis. Michael J. Fox's Parkinson's diagnosis began with something so small it was almost dismissible: a twitch in his pinky finger while filming Doc Hollywood in 1991. At first, he brushed it off, assuming it was fatigue or a pinched nerve from long hours on set. But as the tremors persisted, Fox pursued medical testing that ultimately delivered a life-changing revelation. He had early-onset Parkinson's disease. It was a rare and devastating diagnosis for someone so young, especially in a profession where physical expressiveness and control are vital. Fox was just 29, and the news hit like a freight train. His doctor told him he might have only a few good years left in front of the camera. Instead of revealing the truth to the world, Fox chose to carry the burden in silence, unsure of how the public or the industry would respond. Managing his condition while continuing to act required a complex medical regimen. Fox began taking carbidopa/levodopa, a dopamine replacement medicine that helped ease his tremors and stiffness. But the treatment came with its own challenges. The timing had to be perfect. Too much could trigger dyskinesia, involuntary movements, while too little left him rigid and slow. He became an expert at disguising his symptoms, adjusting his medication down to the minute before public appearances or filming. The goal wasn't just to feel better, but to look normal. "I wasn't using medication to feel better," he admitted in interviews. "I was using it to look better." The irony was cruel. An actor known for honesty in his performances was now performing his health behind the scenes, masking reality to preserve a career built on charm and confidence. The emotional burden of keeping his illness a secret became intolerable. Preserving so huge a part of himself in secret meant mental acrobatics that exhausted him every day. To the public, he remained the same witty, vibrant star, but within, he was disintegrating. The ongoing tension pushed him to drink more excessively, relying on booze to ease the worry he could not reveal to the world. As time went on, it became increasingly difficult to keep up the act. It was in 1998 that Fox made the brave decision to publicly disclose his diagnosis. The moment was a turning point, not only for him, but for millions with Parkinson's who suddenly had a reflection of their battle in a worldwide icon. It broke stigmas and opened a public discussion about the disease that had previously not occurred. In 2000, Fox took it even further. He founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, turning his private struggle into public action. Dedicated to speeding a cure, the foundation rapidly expanded into the world's largest nonprofit funder of Parkinson's research. What made Fox's message so compelling wasn't his celebrity status. It was his candor. He took his vulnerability and made it a platform, bringing patients, scientists, and caregivers together with a common hope. He didn't want to simply raise funds, he wanted to change the story. His activism built momentum for the development of new treatments and diagnostics, but more significantly, made individuals with Parkinson's disease feel understood. By moving into the spotlight as a flawed, not perfect human, but also a brave one, rather than a perfect celebrity, Fox provided a face to an illness that was suffered in silence by many before. Medical milestones. After publicly revealing his Parkinson's diagnosis, Michael J. Fox committed himself to managing the disease through both medical innovation and personal resilience. A major milestone came in 1992 when he chose to confront his alcohol dependence. Sobriety, for Fox, was not just a lifestyle change, but a crucial step toward taking control of his health. He has often described the early phase of recovery as an intensely difficult process, but one that forced him to examine not just his addiction, but his relationship with fear, identity, and vulnerability in the face of a chronic illness. In 1998, Fox underwent a thalamotomy, a neurological procedure designed to alleviate the tremors associated with Parkinson's. By precisely targeting the thalamus, surgeons were able to reduce his involuntary movements, providing him with improved physical function and better quality of life. This allowed him to continue acting and advocating more actively. The surgery was not a cure, but it was a significant turning point in his medical journey. It symbolized Fox's willingness to explore innovative treatment options despite the risks involved. The temporary relief granted by the procedure, however, has created in Fox a caution about further surgeries. He is concerned about the diminishing returns from the repeated procedures and prefers any intervention that promises a true long-term change. Instead, he's been focused on non-invasive therapies and medication management while encouraging medical research via his foundation. In a way, this represents a blend that contains both pragmatism and hope, based on a very sober understanding of the realities of living with something progressive. More than just a patient, Fox has become an actor in the shaping of a future for Parkinson's treatment. His victories concerning sobriety and surgery highlight that beyond a personal urge to improve one's well-being is also a sense of responsibility toward others in the Parkinson's community. He embodies the belief that strength is not in conquering illness, but adapting to it and persevering with all dignity. While managing his condition privately, Fox continued to make bold, creative choices that resonated with millions. Acting triumphs in the face of decline. Despite being diagnosed with Parkinson's at the height of his career, Michael J. Fox continued to defy expectations by delivering powerful performances well into the 21st century. In 1996, he returned to network television with Spin City, playing Deputy Mayor Mike Flaherty. The role showcased his comedic timing and dramatic depth, earning him an Emmy, multiple Golden Globes, and Screen Actors Guild Awards. His performance resonated with audiences not only for its humor, but also for the nuanced vulnerability that began to emerge as his health condition became more complex. After stepping away from Spin City in 2000 due to worsening symptoms, Fox pivoted to guest roles that allowed him to tailor his performances around his physical limitations. In Scrubs, he played an obsessive-compulsive surgeon, using the character's quirks to turn real-life challenges into compelling drama. His work on Boston Legal as a terminally ill billionaire also drew praise for its emotional authenticity. These roles proved that Parkinson's did not define his artistic capability. Instead, they allowed him to explore deeper, more intricate characters. He was a guest star in Rescue Me in 2009 as a manipulative paraplegic who leverages his physical state for control and dominance over everyone else. The portrayal was darkly comic and hauntingly human, and he won an Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actor in a drama series for it. The role was primarily significant for inviting society to that hot topic regarding disability without any flinching. Moral ambiguity is what makes it so difficult and memorable. Fox resumed his serialized television appearance in 2010 through 2016 by way of a recurring part in The Good Wife as Lewis Canning, a wily lawyer suffering from a neurological disorder. The character became a fan favorite and scored multiple nominations at the Emmy Awards for the actor. Fox demonstrated with Canning that he still had that screen allure by packing each scene with humor, unexpectedness, and emotional heaviness. His later career serves as proof of reinvention, showing that talent, once pooled, is not gone through the ravages of physical decline, but rather remolded through courage and craft. The love that anchors him. Michael J. Fox's personal life has been as remarkable as his career, with his marriage to Tracy Pollan offering a steady anchor throughout turbulent times. Their relationship began in the mid-1980s on the set of Family Ties, but their real-life romance didn't blossom until later. They married in 1988, long before Fox's Parkinson's diagnosis, and have built a relationship grounded in mutual respect, humor, and shared values. Over the years, Pollan has stood firmly by Fox's side, becoming both a confidant and a caregiver without ever losing the intimacy of a romantic partnership. In early 2024, online rumors circulated suggesting trouble in their marriage, claims the couple quickly and firmly refuted. Both Fox and Pollan took to social media to reaffirm their deep commitment to one another. Fox's Valentine's Day tribute to Tracy, calling her "the sweetest eyes I've ever seen," was heartfelt and public, a reminder that their bond remains strong in the face of relentless speculation. The false narrative was quickly drowned out by an outpouring of support from fans who admire their unwavering connection. Family life has always been an important part of the identity of this couple. They have 4 children together: Samuel, their oldest son, Aquina, and Skylar, their daughters who are twins, and their youngest, Esme. Despite Fox and Pollan being quite public figures, they have decided to raise their kids with as much normalcy as possible, carefully shielding them from the more unforgiving glare of public life. In June 2024, the family got together for a happy wedding of Skylar in celebration held in the Catskills that also happened to coincide with Pollan's 64th birthday, a twin celebration for continuity, love, and legacy. Above all, family was the rock Fox leaned on whenever he battled ill health or career change. He often says how Tracy has helped him keep perspective and stay grounded, and their love has become a symbol of enduring love in the face of chronic illness. Having connected through much joy and sadness over the years, they demonstrate that family is more than a support system. It's a reason to go on smiling and to fight on. Leading a global movement. When Michael J. Fox founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research in 2000, he did so with a clear mission: to find a cure for Parkinson's and accelerate the development of better treatments. What began as a deeply personal initiative quickly grew into the world's leading nonprofit funder of Parkinson's research. By 2025, the foundation had raised over $2 billion and significantly advanced our understanding of the disease, including the landmark discovery of a biomarker that allows earlier diagnosis and more targeted therapy. Fox's advocacy has not been limited to fundraising. He has consistently engaged with political leaders to influence public health policy. In 1999, he testified before the U.S. Senate, passionately urging Congress to increase funding for Parkinson's research. His testimony marked a pivotal moment in bringing the disease into the national conversation. With vulnerability and authority, Fox used his platform to give voice to millions of patients who often felt invisible within the broader healthcare system. One of his most impactful moments as an activist came in 2006 when he appeared in a political ad supporting Missouri Senate candidate Claire McCaskill, who endorsed embryonic stem cell research. The ad, which openly displayed Fox's physical symptoms, sparked national debate. While some critics accused him of exploiting his condition, others recognized the power of his message. Research can't advance without visibility, urgency, and courage. The ad helped McCaskill win, and the moment became a defining act of celebrity activism. Awards for Fox's work have been numerous. In 2025, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his efforts in science, medicine, and public awareness. Amidst it all, Fox has stayed steadfast in hope and forward progress, reminding us that disease doesn't reduce an individual's contribution. His persistence has sparked a worldwide movement, taking personal strife and making it a broader momentum. Fox's foundation has also upended the way research is done by prioritizing patient participation and transparency in clinical trials, an effort that many experts now see as a model for other disease-specific groups. Instead of functioning entirely through traditional grants, the Michael J. Fox Foundation strategically invests in high-risk, high-reward studies that pharmaceutical companies might otherwise bypass. "We're not here to invest in science for the sake of science," Fox explained in a Time interview. "We're here to achieve results." A results-oriented focus has accelerated the pace of developing potential treatments, such as experimental gene and cell-based therapies now moving into human trials. Also, the Foundation's open access policy, which publishes clinical information with investigators around the globe, has dismantled silos in medicine research and promoted unparalleled international collaboration. By envisioning a new approach to medical research funding and operations, Fox not only funded science, but he modernized it. From actor to author and public voice. As Parkinson's disease increasingly limited Michael J. Fox's physical abilities, he turned to writing as a new form of creative expression, one that allowed him to communicate without depending on the camera or stage. His first memoir, Lucky Man, published in 2002, offered an unfiltered look into his journey from rising stardom to personal crisis. The book wasn't just a celebrity memoir, it was a raw, introspective reflection on denial, addiction, and ultimately, acceptance. Through a blend of humor and honesty, Fox detailed the transformative impact of his diagnosis and how it compelled him to reevaluate his priorities, relationships, and purpose. Fox's success as a writer continued with Always Looking Up, The Adventures of an Incurable Optimist in 2009. Unlike his first memoir, which focused on self-discovery through hardship, this book explored broader themes such as faith, family, work, and politics. It offered readers a more philosophical take on resilience and hope, showing that optimism wasn't a blind attitude, but a practiced discipline. Narrated by Fox himself, the audiobook version earned him a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album, affirming that his voice, both literally and metaphorically, still had a powerful place in the cultural conversation. In 2020, Fox released No Time Like the Future. An optimist considers mortality, a deeper meditation on aging, illness, and the shifting terrain of identity. This memoir revealed the psychological toll of progressive memory loss and the emotional complexities of stepping away from acting permanently. Yet, even as he candidly acknowledged the pain of forgetting lines or struggling with everyday routines, Fox continued to champion the idea that life remains meaningful, even beautiful, when lived with humility, gratitude, and clarity. His words offered comfort to readers dealing with their own limitations, whether physical or emotional. His development as an author continues with the imminent release of his fifth book, Future Boy, Back to the Future, and My Journey Through the Space-Time Continuum, in October 2025. Co-written with longtime ally Nell Fortenberry, this memoir revisits 1985, the year that gave birth to Fox's legacy with Back to the Future and family ties. Mining from personal archives and new interviews, Fox presents the breakthrough year not merely as a cultural moment, but as a tipping point for his own story. His characteristic blend of humor and insight will trace arguments showing that, whereas Parkinson's may have impeded his path, it has never diminished his capacity to tell stories that comfort, inform, and inspire. Fox's emergence into authorship not only further articulated his creative voice, but also engaged new audiences who might never have seen his films or shows. He reached people confronting issues far beyond Hollywood, those living with chronic illness, battling addiction, and dealing with loss. His writing has found its way into university curricula, featured in mental health discussions, and praised in literary circles for its lucidness and compassion. In an interview with NPR, Fox mused, "Writing gave me the space to say what acting never could, to slow down, reflect, and give people something lasting." Before long, the very stage he left behind would call him back, proving that some stories aren't finished until the spotlight finds you again. A 2024 return to TV. Though Michael J. Fox announced his retirement from acting in 2020 due to the increasing toll Parkinson's took on his voice and memory, he surprised fans in 2024 by stepping back in front of the camera. His cameo in the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm marked his first TV appearance in 5 years. The moment wasn't just a nostalgic nod, it was a reaffirmation that Fox's presence still resonated powerfully in contemporary culture. His comedic timing remained sharp, and the self-awareness he brought to the role offered a poignant mix of levity and courage that struck a chord with longtime fans. Following that reappearance, Fox accepted a more substantial role in the third season of Apple TV Plus's hit series Shrinking, slated for release in 2025. Created by Bill Lawrence, with whom Fox worked on Spin City, the show allowed him to re-engage with scripted television on his terms. His character, a therapist with personal ties to the series' central narrative, was crafted with sensitivity to Fox's real-life experience, allowing the actor to perform authentically and meaningfully. The casting decision was widely praised, especially because it emphasized inclusion without exploitation. One of the most heartfelt endorsements of Fox's return came from his Shrinking co-star Harrison Ford. In a 2024 interview with People, Ford called Fox an inspiration and a hero, noting the power of his presence both on set and in the Parkinson's community. Ford, whose own character on the show navigates a Parkinson's diagnosis, spoke about how Fox brought a lived perspective that grounded the show's emotional tone. That Fox trained to act just to lose the time and space memory around him with humor and intellectual clarity in a wonderful way that enriched and made the performance speak to the audience on a deeper level. The assumption is that Fox's return to acting, however brief, serves as a master class in how one embodies the old American notion of resilience. Not full recovery or constant productivity, but showing up, sharing what you can share, and doing so in an upright fashion. Fame was not the object of his reappearance, but rather to continue telling stories that matter. Again, through his actions, Michael J. Fox proved that while everyone in his fame, one spirit remains a mighty force, an endorsement of personal perseverance and the strength of purpose. Thanks for watching. If Michael J. Fox's story moved you, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more powerful stories, and tap the bell so you never miss an update. And if you're ready for another incredible journey, go ahead and click the next video on your screen now. See you there!